Excellencies, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we wait for the arrival of the Right Honorable Speaker, we want to kindly remind you that all COVID-19 protocols are being strictly observed in these premises. We therefore urge all to keep their masks on. All COVID-19 protocols are being strictly observed. We therefore urge all invited guests to keep their masks on. Thank you very much. Second Lady, Hatia Mrs. Samira Ramadan Bawumia, As the Right Honorable Speaker and his procession enter the chamber, this premises becomes the Chamber of Parliament. We remain standing as the Right Honorable Speaker takes the chair. Order. As we resume our seats,
members, order. May I welcome on
they are not in the majority. And I told somebody that this people, they're going to try their luck. They'll go every extent to do whatever they want to do. It was so strange. After many, many hassles,
members back from the suspension elect.
One of our own decided, or maybe two, decided to be
But before we do,
and disappoint millions of people were watching from outside. It was so
of very important dignitaries.
so heartbreaking. Not that bad.
So, honorable members, please spare me a few minutes. Dignitaries all over the world of this swearing ceremony. The heads of delegations, excellencies, and dignitaries include His Excellency Mr. Faure Gnassingbé, President of Côte d'Ivoire. I've just been reliably informed that His Excellency the President-elect is just at the entrance. And so I want to invite His Excellency the President-elect. After that, I will take some time to go through the rest of the names.
To accompany me to usher in His Excellency the President-elect. After that, I will take some time to go through the rest of the
Names.
forecourt of Parliament. You see in your shots the arrival of the President-elect, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and his wife, Mrs. Rebecca Akufo-Addo. We also have seen the Vice President-elect, Dr. Bawumia. They made their way into the dome, which will be the venue for the inaugural ceremony, as we see on our screens. It does appear that all is set for the official swearing-in ceremony of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President-elect of the Republic of Ghana. In your shot is Samira Bawumia a while ago, and the wife of the President, Mrs. Rebecca Akufo-Addo. There in your shot, you also see the President of Togo in our shot, Faure Gnassingbé there, and pretty shortly the main event would commence at the forecourt of Parliament. And seated is the Speaker of the 8th Parliament. He will be the 7th Speaker in the 4th.
And His Excellency, the President-elect. I will want to, on your behalf, welcome them to the August House of Parliament and crave your indulgence to permit me to acknowledge, as I was doing, the presence of these distinguished personalities that have traveled all the way to come and honor the swearing-in of His Excellency the President and His Excellency the Vice President. As I told you, the list is quite long, but I'll endeavor to take just a few minutes to acknowledge them on your behalf. We also have in our presence His Excellency Professor Alpha Conde, President of the Republic of Guinea. His Excellency Mr. Macky Sall, President of the Republic of Senegal. His Excellency Mr. Mamadou Issoufou, President of the Republic of Niger. The French, they say Niger. His Excellency Mr. Roch Christian Kabore, President of the Republic of Burkina Faso. His Excellency Mr. George Manneh Weah, you all know him very well, President of the Republic of Liberia. His Excellency Mr. Julius Maada Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. His Excellency Mr. Umaru Sissoco Embalo, President of Guinea-Bissau. His Excellency Dr. Bonito de Souza Baltazar Diego, Vice President of the Republic of Angola. His Excellency Colonel Assimi Goïta, Vice President of the Transition in Mali. His Excellency Mr. Rui Figueiredo Soares, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Regional Integration of the Republic of Cape Verde. His Excellency Musa Faki Mahamat, Chairperson of the African Union Commission. His Excellency Jean-Claude Cassibreu, President of the ECOWAS Commission. Senator Friza Ifwa Asangonu, President of the Senate, Republic of Equatorial Guinea. Our own Dr. Mohamed Ibn Chambers, Special Representative of the Secretary General, United Nations Office for West Africa and the Sahel. His Excellency Geoffrey Onyama, Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Honorable Jean-Yves Le Drian, Minister for Foreign Affairs of France. Mr. V. Muralin Harm, Minister for Foreign Affairs of India. His Excellency Aurélien Agbenonsi, Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Benin. Honorable Vincent Biruta, Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Rwanda. Mr. Mamadou Tangara, Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Gambia. Mr. Pakomi Mubeya, Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Gabon. And we have also His Excellency John Ajekun Kufuor, former President of the Republic of Ghana. We have Her Excellency Hajia Ramatu Mahama, wife of the former Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. And our own, the Right Honorable Ebenezer Virginia Sechi Hughes, former Speaker of the Parliament, and he's not here alone, he is with his dear wife to honor the swearing in of His Excellency, the President-elect of Ghana. We have another former senior member, Honorable Freddie Blay, former Deputy Speaker of Parliament, and now Chairman of the New Patriotic Party. We also have His Excellency Jacoba A.S. Oliver Terendrazaniri Vilo, Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Madagascar. Ambassador Amin Abba Siddiq, Minister for Foreign Affairs, African Integration, and Chadians abroad. His Excellency Mr. Kabanda Kana Andrew, Minister at the Presidency of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Mr. James Dudridge, Minister for Africa at the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office of the United Kingdom. Ambassador Peter Pham, Special Envoy for the Sahel region, United Nations, United States of America. His Excellency Richard Wanza, Ambassador of the Republic of Zambia to Ghana, representing the President of the Republic of Zambia, His Excellency Mr. Edgar Changwa Lungu. His Excellency Emad Madi Hana Kamel, Ambassador of the Arab Republic of Egypt to Ghana, representing the President of Egypt, His Excellency Abdul Fattah el-Sisi. His Excellency Ms. Imani Kwadil, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Morocco, representing His Majesty King Mohammed VI of the Kingdom of Morocco. We have numerous distinguished members of the diplomatic corps, too many for mention. But before I end, I had acknowledged some of the dignitaries before the arrival of His Excellency, the Vice President-elect, and His Excellency, the President-elect. And so I will just mention them. It's only, I believe, 4 names. So just bear me for a while. His Excellency, Mr. Sassou Nguesso, President of the Republic of Congo, is here with us. His Excellency, Mr. Faure Gnassingbé, President of the Republic of Togo. His Excellency, Mr. Alassane Ouattara, President of Côte d'Ivoire. And I believe the last but not the least, His Excellency Professor Alpha Condé, President of the Republic of Guinea. It's important that I acknowledge the presence of my dear one, I gave a title to the wives of former speakers. And since some are here, if I don't use the same title, I may be charged with discrimination. Since the speakers are right honorable, I humbly proposed, and it was accepted, that their wives be referred to as left honorables. So my dear wife is here, the left honorable Alice Adjoa Jonas. Now, honorable members, with your kind permission, I want to, on behalf of the House and my good self, wish the visiting dignitaries a pleasant stay in our country. Without much ado, I want to move to the next item, and that is to invite His Lordship, the Chief Justice, to administer the oath to the Vice President-elect. Your Lordship, you may carry on.
Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia,
do in the name of the Almighty God swear
do in the name of the Almighty God swear
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Republic of Ghana
to the Republic of Ghana
as by law established,
as by law established,
that I will uphold
that I will uphold
the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana,
the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana,
and that I will preserve, protect, and defend
the
Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
So help me God.
So help me God. I, Mahamudu Bawumia,
having been elected to the office of the Vice President
having been elected to the office of the Vice President
of the Republic of Ghana,
of the Republic of Ghana,
do in the name of the Almighty God swear
do in the name of the Almighty God swear
that I will at all times
that I will at all times
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana,
And I will dedicate
myself
to the service and well-being
myself to the service and well-being
of the people of the Republic of Ghana,
of the people of the Republic of Ghana,
and to do right to all manner of persons.
and to do right to all manner of persons.
I further solemnly swear
I further solemnly swear
that should I at any time break this oath of office,
break this oath of office,
I shall submit myself
I shall submit myself
to the laws of the Republic of Ghana
to the laws of the Republic of
and
Ghana
suffer the penalty for it.
and suffer the penalty for it.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Alhaji Vice President, on behalf of the House and on my own behalf, I congratulate you on your assumption of the office of the land as Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Congratulations. Honorable members, before I go to the main item, my attention has been drawn to the presence in this August House of some special dignitaries that we cannot afford not to recognize. It's important that we recognize the presence of Her Excellency Rebecca Akufo-Addo, First Lady of the Republic of Ghana. We also have with us Her Excellency Ramatu Bawumia, well, I don't know whether she saw an affidavit to change her name, but that was what they submitted to me. So, Your Excellency, I apologize on behalf of the House for the mix-up. She is Her Excellency Samira Bawumia, spouse of the Vice President of Ghana, who is the second lady of the Republic. We also have our revered traditional leader, the former chief, but I'm not recognizing him because of that title. I'm doing so because he is the chairman of the Council of State in the person of Nana Otu-Sribour. And now, the purpose for which we are here. I have your permission to invite His Lordship, the Chief Justice, to administer the oath to the President-elect. Chief Justice, you may do so now.
Akufo-Addo. Do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance.
To the Republic of Ghana.
To the Republic of Ghana.
As by law established.
As by law established.
That I will uphold.
That I will uphold.
The sovereignty and integrity of Ghana.
The sovereignty and integrity of Ghana.
And that I will preserve.
And that I will preserve.
Protect.
And
defend.
The
Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
The Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
So help me God.
So help me God. I, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo,
having been elected
to
the high office of President of the Republic of Ghana,
to the high office of President of the Republic of Ghana,
do in the name of the Almighty God swear,
do in the name of the Almighty God swear,
that I will be faithful, and true to the Republic of Ghana,
and true to the Republic of Ghana,
that I will at all times, preserve, protect, and defend
the
Constitution of the Republic of Ghana,
the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana,
and that I dedicate myself to the service and well-being of the people of the Republic of Ghana,
to the service and well-being of the people of the Republic of Ghana,
and to do right
and to do right
to all manner of persons.
to all manner of persons.
I further solemnly swear
I further solemnly swear
that should I at any time
that should I at any time
break this oath of office,
break this oath of
I
office,
shall submit myself
I shall submit myself
to the laws of the Republic of Ghana
to the laws of the Republic of Ghana
and suffer the penalty for it.
and suffer the penalty for it.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
You want me to fill this in?
President, on behalf of the House and on my own behalf, I congratulate you on your assumption of the highest office of the land as President of the Republic of Ghana. Honorable members, and I have the pleasure and honor to invite the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to deliver the inaugural address. Mr. President, you may proceed to deliver your address.
Mr. Speaker, I extend a hearty Akwaba, our word of welcome to their excellencies, the distinguished leaders of sister states from our region and continent, as well as to eminent representatives from other friendly nations and international organizations who are gathered here in the vibrant city of Accra, capital of Ghana, to join us on this auspicious occasion. I thank each and every one of you for being present at this inauguration of my second mandate, COVID-19 notwithstanding. Your attendance is an expression of solidarity and friendship that speaks volumes of your attachment to the goals and aspirations of the Ghanaian people and state, for which we are very grateful. I must at the outset express my warm congratulations to my good friend and colleague of many years in this House, the Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, on his assumption of office as the Speaker of the 8th Parliament of the 4th Republic. Nearly 3 decades of devoted service to Parliament by you has culminated in this moment, which has seen your elevation to the 3rd great office of state of our nation. Together, you and I will be charting new territory in the governance and politics of the 4th Republic. For this is the first time in the life of the Republic that a president from one party will be obliged by the exigencies of the moment and the will of the people to work in all sincerity and cooperation with a Speaker of Parliament from another party. I'm confident that both of us will be guided in our relationship by the supreme interest of our people in ensuring good governance in the ordering of the affairs of state. I want to show you my wholehearted determination to work with you to advance the peace, progress, and prosperity of the Ghanaian people. Once again, many congratulations to you and the re-elected and new members of Parliament. A few moments ago, I took for the second time the oath of office to serve as President of the Republic of Ghana. I follow in the exalted footsteps of 2 of my predecessors, the first and second presidents of the 4th Republic, Their Excellencies Jerry John Rawlings and John Agyekum Kufuor, who served 2 successive terms in office. I cannot therefore take this honor and privilege bestowed on my mother's self lightly, and I thank Almighty God and the Ghanaian people who by an emphatic margin renewed my mandate in office for 4 more years in the elections of 7th December. It is a demonstration of the confidence and trust you, the Ghanaian people, have reposed in me not only in appreciation for the achievements throughout my first 4 years, but more significantly, for the considerable amount of work that is to be done over the next 4 years in our drive to take our nation firmly onto the path of progress, prosperity, and development following the havoc wreaked by COVID-19. This is a task I wholeheartedly accept, and I assure all Ghanaians that I'll do my best to deliver on this mandate. The accomplishment of this mandate is going to take place within the context of Ghana's maturing democracy. The Ghanaian people have manifested time and again in these 28 years of the Fourth Republic their determination to build a free, democratic, peaceful nation which is respectful of individual liberties and human rights, the rule of law, and the principles of democratic accountability. A governance structure built on the separation of powers provides the best vehicle for the protection of these values, with a well-resourced judiciary and parliament as the principal accountability organs of the state. This has been the main thrust of public policy in these past 4 years and will continue to be so in the next. The unity and stability of our country are the welcome outcomes of such a development. This is how we can ensure, in the words of one of the great figures of Ghanaian nationalism, the illustrious Joseph Boakai Dankwa, that we have, quote, a system of government under which those who are in control of government are under the control of those who are governed, unquote. Mr. Speaker, the sheer can-do spirit of the Ghanaian, which I have witnessed all my life, is the bedrock on which we can build the Ghana of our dreams. Indeed, 4 years ago at my first inauguration, I urged all Ghanaians to be, and I quote, citizens and not spectators, unquote. I appeal to you to be active participants in the effort to help build the Ghana we want, the democratic, free, prosperous, and united Ghana envisaged by our founding fathers as the Black Star of Africa. In my first term as president, I was able to count on the contribution of all citizens in attempting to create this Ghana. What I have seen these last 4 years is further evidence, if any were needed, that the Ghanaian will no longer accept poverty and deprivation as his or her portion, but is rather determined to work to chart a path of growth and development for himself or herself. Today, our economy, even in the face of the global pandemic of COVID-19, continues to show resilience and a much faster rate of recovery than originally envisaged, and was indeed one of the fastest growing economies in the world in 2020. Ghana remains one of the most attractive destinations on the continent for direct foreign investment, with the presence in the country of some of the world's largest conglomerates attesting to this fact. Establishing a strong economy, undergoing structural transformation to value-added activities, which will generate jobs for our young people and enhance their living standards, will be the main preoccupation of my second term. Together, we're ensuring that the basic tenets of social justice are met. Many said it was beyond us, but we have ensured that financial considerations no longer determine the fate of the Ghanaian child. Because of the implementation of the free senior high school policy, once willing and able, senior high school education is the minimum education to be received by every Ghanaian child. Access to quality health care is no more a luxury ordinary people cannot afford, following the revival of the National Health Insurance Scheme. Our aim is to reach universal health coverage as soon as possible. Food production has increased significantly, and a conscious effort has been made to improve the living standards of our farmers. The newly constructed warehouses dotted across the country are storing the surpluses for export to our neighbors, and the program for planting for food and jobs has become the veritable rock on which the successful future of our agriculture is being built. Our roads are being constructed at a much faster pace than before. And yes, I acknowledge that there are still many more kilometers to construct. We defined last year as the year of roads. This year will be the second year of roads. As we continue with our focus on dealing with the deficit in our road infrastructure, the development of our rail sector, on which considerable resources and energies are being devoted, will open up the country and lead to the creation of a more connected society, and will also help realize the goal of regional and continental integration. The arrival of COVID-19 drove home the lesson to all of us that we have to be self-reliant. The pandemic has emphasized the fact that we cannot continue to be living on edge in a day-to-day economy. This is dangerous for our survival, and it's important that we set up buffers of protection in all aspects of our lives. So when there was a shortage in the supply of personal protective equipment, at a time when they were being sold at extortionate prices on the world market, the enterprise of the Ghanaian shone through. We produced right here in Ghana our own sanitizers, face masks, medical scrubs, gowns, liquid soap, amongst others. We can indeed build a Ghana beyond aid if we make full use, as we must, of the enterprise and ingenuity of our people, especially our young people. The prominent role being played by young people in the digitization journey of our nation is strong proof of the feasibility of this objective. Ghana is set to become one of the most digitized economies in Africa in the next few years. In this same vein, I expect the locally produced Eku juice, one of the results of government's One District, One Factory flagship policy, to replace rapidly the imported fruit juices on the shelves of our supermarkets. Not because anyone will so decree, but because the quality of the locally produced one is as good, if not superior. I doubt, Mr. Speaker, that anyone would ordinarily mention Akpeteshi, the local gin, as a possible item on the world market. I cannot vouch for its taste or potency, since I gave up alcohol many years ago. But I can say that the made in Ghana and beautifully packaged Eku I have recently seen can compete in the most sophisticated markets in the world. My boundless confidence in the energy of the Ghanaian makes me believe that we can become the prosperous nation we aspire to and soon. We have good reason to be proud of what we have been able to achieve so far. Mr. Speaker, we know that the democracy we seek to build and entrench in Ghana will ultimately succeed if we build a prosperous nation and our people are at peace with themselves and with the world. I pledge before this august house and the good people of Ghana that I will do, all I do will be for the common good. And with a firm foundation laid in my first term of office, we shall take a significant step towards reducing the infrastructure deficit that has placed us all throughout our nationhood. The remaining 15% of our communities without electricity will be covered by the end of my second term. We have already begun constructing hospitals in the remaining districts that do not have one, a process which will be completed within the year. The percentage of Ghanaians without access to potable water is set to reduce significantly following the commencement of work on a number of water supply projects across all parts of the country. The majority of our people live in unacceptable housing, and we shall tackle the problem with vigor. With discipline and caution, just as we have done since March 2020, we in Ghana can continue to reduce the number of active cases of COVID-19, which currently stands at a little over 900, and open up our country again to the rest of the region, continent, and the entire world. We have taken the bold step of reopening all our schools again because our fundamental conviction that education is the key to our future. We will do everything possible to ensure not only the safety of the children, but of teachers and non-teaching staff as well. We Ghanaians have always been very much aware of our place in our neighborhood, in our continent, and in the world. We recognize that poverty and insecurity plague our region, and thus we shall continue to make our voice carry the weight of our convictions and contribute to making our world a safer and happier place. We shall play our full part in the deliberations and activities of all the organizations to which we belong: ECOWAS, the African Union, Commonwealth, La Francophonie, the United Nations, and others. Ghana, which has the privilege of hosting the Secretariat of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, intends to be one of the main drivers of its success. The AFCFTA provides us Africans with a great opportunity to exploit and develop our resources for the benefit of our own people and end the centuries-old exploitation of our continent's vast wealth for the benefit of others. In the words of the historic first leader of our nation, the celebrated Kwame Nkrumah, and I quote, "It is clear that we must find an African solution to our problems, and that this can only be found in African unity. Divided we are weak. United, Africa could become one of the greatest forces for good in the world," unquote. To my fellow Ghanaians, I invite all of you to join in the exciting business of developing our country. There are endless opportunities if we remain united. What our forebears dreamed of, we will achieve. If we inherited dreams and visions from our founding fathers, we should leave legacies of achievements and realities to our children and their children. For I believe in the limitless prospects of Ghana and of us, her people. So let us be up and doing, and with faith in the Almighty, seize our destiny. Mr. Speaker, may God bless us all in our homeland, Ghana, and make her great and strong. Your Excellencies, once again, Akwaba, I thank you for your attention.
Mr. President, on behalf of the House and on my own behalf, I sincerely thank you for your inaugural address. I also wish you and the Vice President well in the administration of the country. Honorable members, having listened to His Excellency the President, I think the main item is over, and I want any indication from the leaders of the House. I see the honorable member for Swami constituency, Honorable Oseche Mensah Bonsu. Any indication?
Speaker, today, Thursday, the 7th of January, has been a very momentous occasion. We have had to elect the Speaker of Parliament and his two deputies for the 8th Parliament. In turn, the Speaker has also had to swear in members of Parliament elect. Then, as we find ourselves in the tent now, we've witnessed the swearing in of His Excellency the President and his Vice President. The President and indeed Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. The day has been long. It was tortuous and indeed rather labyrinthine. For the newly sworn in members of Parliament, the day began yesterday before 11 p.m., which means that they have had to endure almost 15 hours since yesterday without blinking our eyes. Speaker, there is a lot of wisdom in beginning the swearing in process soon after midnight, and the events of today bear ample testimony in the wisdom contained in this exercise. The speakers have said there has not been any indication from you about extension of the sitting, and that being the case, I believe any member at any time stated for the closing may move for adjournment of the House as provided for by our orders, Order 44. In the circumstance, and given the discussions that we had this morning, that is between myself and the Honorable Haruna Iddrisu, may I move that the House takes an adjournment until Friday next week at 10 o'clock in the forenoon. Speaker, I do so move.
Honorable members, the motion has been moved for adjournment of the House. Any seconder?
Sorry. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to second the motion.
Honorable members, Motion for the adjournment of the House moved and seconded. Is now for the consideration of the House. There being no consideration, I put the question. Those in favor for adjournment, say aye. Those against, say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I don't want to prolong your long dry fast. I have myself fasted more than I've ever done. Honorable members, there is a very vigorous attempt to arrest the motion. And I want to crave your indulgence to permit just a few minutes. Was it's a request I cannot turn down. We are being called upon to give an opportunity to one of our visiting dignitaries to at least say a word or two of gratitude to His Excellency the President. This is the request, and I'm told it's coming from the highest office. And so, with your kind indulgence, may I invite His Excellency Professor Alpha Conde to say a few words of thanks in response to the address, inaugural address of His Excellency the President of Ghana. Your Excellency, you may proceed to the podium. I've done that.
Je voudrais dire d'abord que c'est un grand plaisir, un grand honneur pour nous d'assister à la prestation de serment de notre frère et ami président Nana Addo, d'autant plus que nous n'oublions pas le rôle qu'a joué le président Nkrumah. Tout ce qu'il a dit, c'est vérifié. Il a dit, si l'Afrique ne s'unit pas, voilà ce qui va arriver. Et tout ce qu'il a prédit est arrivé. Donc c'est une grande fierté pour nous de nous retrouver au Ghana. Et nous remercions tous les chefs d'État qui se sont déplacés pour rendre hommage à notre frère. Et nous savons que sous sa direction, le Ghana va faire des pas de géant. Et le peuple ghanéen peut compter sur l'ensemble des chefs d'État de la CEDEAO et de l'Union africaine pour accompagner notre frère pour le mieux et pour le bonheur du peuple du Ghana. Je vous remercie.
Your Excellency, Professor Alpha Conde, on behalf of the House, we want to thank you so much for the words of congratulations. In fact, I started revising my French notes, and I think I got a few words of what you said. We thank you so much. Honorable members, I'll have to put the question again. Those in favor of an adjournment of the House, say aye. Those against, say no. The ayes have it. The House is accordingly adjourned to Friday, the 15th day of January at 10 in the forenoon. The House is adjourned.
And so there you have it. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo accordingly sworn in as the president of the Republic of Ghana. He will be the 5th president of the 4th Republic. As you all know, President Akufo-Addo is a legal professional. He studied economics at the University of Ghana for his first degree, went on to London to study law. He has been an astute politician, a former member of parliament for the people of Ebuakwa South in the Eastern region. He was an attorney general under the erstwhile His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor's administration. He later became the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration. He contested elections in 2008 and lost. He came back in 2012. He lost again, and then won the elections in 2016 and became Ghana's president. He has been maintained after the 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections. And so President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo with his vice president, Dr. Bawumia, would steer the affairs of this country from now until January 7th, 2024. He has been sworn in accordingly at the Dome at the forecourt of Parliament. We saw some dignitaries gracing this particular occasion. We have His Excellency Macky Sall, President of Senegal. We have the President of Sierra Leone, Mr. Mada Bio, or His Excellency Mada Bio, gracing the occasion. We have His Excellency Sissoko of Guinea-Bissau. We also have Mr. Musa Falai Mohammed, the chairperson of the AU Commission, among the many dignitaries who graced this particular occasion. Conspicuously, we've seen the minority missing in action there. I didn't see any minority member at the investiture of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, maybe for obvious reasons. We all know that they are taking this particular matter to court, and even though it's before the Supreme Court, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will still be sworn in whilst we deal with the substantive matter later on, and the Supreme Court determines and rules finally on the case. And so there we have it. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo sworn in as the President of the Republic of Ghana. Thelma, it's been a very brief but colorful and beautiful event. We didn't see what has been the case. It used to be a very long drawn event, but this time it was very brief and straightforward.
Yeah, I think obviously because of the COVID pandemic, we're still very mindful of the fact that it's still with us worldwide, and also because the parliamentarians have sat throughout the night, and almost 12 hours plus of parliamentary proceedings takes a toll. And you could hear the Right Honourable Speaker even making a joke out of, say, at the point that he has not had anything to eat in a very long while. And so it tells you that parliamentarians, they are, yes, right, but the humans, they are as well.
Let's go to the Abdul High moment.
For me, it's a lesson, and the president was right. The people of Ghana have spoken, and they have clearly indicated that they want us to work together. In fact, it was coming. I mean, you could see it. Those of us who started politics so long ago, it nearly happened in 2005, where the two sides nominated two speakers, and we had to stay almost about 3 hours before we joined the president for the swearing in. And the same thing has happened again. And I think although it sounded acrimonious and all that, it's something we will learn from and build from. I believe when it happens again, we'll find it as normal. And indeed, democracy, that's what it is. I mean, it is not the end of the world. I mean, it's a 4-year cycle, And so when people become so bitter and acrimonious as happened yesterday, I was a bit worried. I watched it from the television and I was so worried, especially when I saw the military come in. I mean, I have been in parliament before. The temperature goes high, but we calm it down. But yesterday I can understand there was some near scuffles, and I think when the military came in I was a bit worried, but I noticed that and cleverly they just protected the clerk and the team. They didn't get involved in the parliamentary affairs, which is okay, but we must learn quickly. And as the president said, Ghanaians are telling us something. Basically, we need to work together, and it's not about the politicians, it's not about the office holders. It's about the ordinary person who survives in Ghana. And he made mention of the production of even appeal and all. Those are, it tells you the president of the Republic, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is thinking beyond this today. He's thinking beyond today, how people survive.
Honorable Asamoah Boateng, thank you very much. But how soon are we seeing you back in Parliament?
As for Parliament, we're finished.
We'll talk to you, sir.
I finished. I congratulate my MP, Ophelia Mensah-Hayford, who won decisively in Infantiman. Congratulations, Ophelia. And I will help you to succeed and succeed very well and help the people of Infantiman to find work, the youth to work. But for me, going forward is to serve the people. I've served as a minister, I've served as an MP. Any capacity that serves people is what I'm in. Right now, I'm looking after serving the state-owned enterprises and others. That is equally important job, and for me, it's, once you serve the person, I don't care the position. That's the position is so important to me.
Thank you very much for your time, sir, and we wish you the best of luck as you proceed to do. Thank you so much.
GBC to succeed as a state entity.
Thank you, and that will depend on you, sir, and what you offer to us.
To come to my table.
Thank you so very much. We've also been joined by the Amir and missionary in charge of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission, Alhaj Mubi Muhammad bin Sali. Sir, thank you very much for accepting to speak with us.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure you followed events in Parliament from last night, and perhaps you may have also heard of the acrimony and the disturbances, the enmity that occurred in Parliament ahead of the election of a speaker and even ahead of this inauguration. You are a religious leader. Does the current mood in the country worry you?
Well, the current mood in the country, it's definitely very worrying. If you come to think of us as a country who need to unite to get where we want to get to, if you come to think of us as a country who would want to develop our country to such an extent that would find our place in the Committee of Nations, then of course it is worrying to find that we find ourselves in such a situation, such an acrimonious situation, so acrimonious that the ugliness of our system has come to light. Also, it is good that this ugliness has come to light. It had to come to light so that the pretense in us is done away with, and we do our best to approach the realities. And as we approach the realities, it is then that we will be able to set ourselves aright and chart a course that will lead us where we want to get to.
You are also a key member of the National Peace Council. Is this one of the issues that you would be paying attention to, especially what happened in Parliament, and given the fact that today, when delivering his address, the president did indicate that the people of Ghana want a president who belongs to one political party to work with a Speaker of Parliament who, for the first time in the history of the Fourth Republic, comes from a different political party?
Here I'm not speaking for the Peace Council as such, even though I'm a member of the Peace Council. But I'm not speaking for the Peace Council now. Our chairman is our official spokesperson, or for that matter, the secretariat, that's our executive secretary. But as a person, see myself as a religious leader, yes, peace is a necessary ingredient in each and every aspect of man's life, more so if you must achieve and attain progress. Whether it's on mundane issues or in religious issues or cultural issues or what have you. And in that case, therefore, for you to be able to attain peace, we must try our level best to bring down to the barest minimum level acrimonious activities or acrimonious intents. What we really saw at our parliament wasn't the best one would have wished the world to see. It was so terrible that at points, at certain times, I felt like I was rather in a dreamland. I couldn't believe that I was in Ghana. But our countrymen, we must get to know that peace is a necessary ingredient, and at all costs, we must all do whatever it takes to be able to maintain and see about peace reigning in this country. We must not take things personal. Whoever finds himself, wherever he or she finds herself or himself, whether you are in the parliament or you are in the executive, you are a minister of state or what have you, we all have a collective responsibility to this country. We all have a collective responsibility to the generations that are ahead of us. We all have a responsibility to our Creator who put us in this country. And that's the reason why he has kept us in this country and for us to be called Ghana.
Okay.
And we must do what it takes to prove that, yes, we're deserving of the name Ghana. And as Ghanaians, therefore, we must make progress. We must think of the future and do what we can. Okay. We inherited, and we must leave Ghana.
Thank you very much, Amir Saba. Unfortunately, we ran out of time for now. We've just been speaking with Amir and missionary in charge of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission, Alhaji Mobi Muhammad bin Sali. We'll be speaking to some other dignitaries. So because of the nose pack, sometimes it's difficult to even identify people. Your name, sir?
I am a Siama MP for Formina.
Oh, great. Good to have you. Honorable. Good to see you and congratulations. You've been elevated to the position of second speaker of parliament. That came to a lot of Ghanaians as a huge surprise. Did it come to you as a surprise too, sir?
Yes, I was also surprised. Yesterday night, I walked into the chamber with the view that I was just going to be sworn in as an... I walked into the chamber with the view that I was just going to be sworn in as an ordinary member. I never thought of it that such an honor was going to be bestowed on me. So it is a huge surprise to me. It's the work of God.
There were those who believed that you were going to be the kingmaker in the 8th Parliament. Now that you have been appointed second deputy speaker, and indeed you had also earlier declared that when you get into the House, you would be voting on issues that the MPP agrees on. Will that change anything from now?
Well, once you sit as a speaker, then you know you will not take part in voting. But if I'm sitting as an...
really look forward to an opportunity where GBC can have some exclusive conversation with you. So that exactly. Thank you very much. That's a promise.
You are ring.
Thank you so much. I will get in touch with you.
Thank you.
And we've been speaking to Honorable Siama, who earlier today was elected as the second deputy speaker of Parliament. Remember, he is the only independent candidate who won the parliamentary elections and went to Parliament. Now we'll speak to the paramount chief of the Talensi traditional area and a former member of Parliament himself. Thank you very much, Chief, for accepting to speak with us. I'm sure as you sat in and witnessed the occasion, it brought you back some nostalgic memories of your own days in Parliament, didn't it?
Yes, indeed, it did. And I was very pleased to see that there was some level of orderliness and then some level of tranquility.
But again, I'm sure that you saw what happened in Parliament ahead of the election of the Speaker. There was acrimony, there was tension. In fact, there was a time when for the first time in the history of this republic, military men came onto the chamber, the floor of Parliament. You witnessed this perhaps yourself. You heard the news. How did you receive it?
Well, I heard it, I witnessed it, and I think that it is something that one can say that wasn't called for. Tempers were high, and it appeared that it nearly marred the whole beauty of our transition. And I think that the intervention, even though may not have been the best, it helped to quell certain things that may have maybe driven us out of, the situation, in the sense that we may have.
Right, so that was my colleague Abdul Hai Moment there, speaking to some personalities who were at the inaugural ceremony of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He would have to depart Parliament, as you can see in those pictures, beautiful pictures there. President Akufo-Addo leaving Parliament to go start government business. I mean, he has promised that he will do his best to deliver on his mandate of delivering maybe quality education, quality healthcare. He declared this year the second year of roads. Last year was the year of roads. This year will be the second year of roads. Given that he's told us he's been in a hurry, maybe he would have to depart Parliament and go kickstart the business of government. He says we should continue to be citizens and not spectators, as he told us in his first inaugural address in 2017. He says that senior high school education would be the minimum qualification for anybody who is willing and wants to go to school. Let's go back to Abdul Hai Moment, who is speaking to some personalities there.
Impact.
Parliament, there in your pictures, the Vice President, the President, everybody who was at the event would now have to leave the place. But as I was telling you, President Akufo-Addo has promised that he would extend electricity to communities that do not currently have electricity in his next or in this current term. He's going to tackle the issue of housing. And if you remember, in the 2020 MPP manifesto, they have promised that they're going to set up a rent authority, and this authority is going to ensure that if you wanted to rent and you didn't have money to pay for, say, 2-year advance, there's a fund that helps you get some money, or the money is paid to your landlord, and then you pay every month. And so that's a promise that the MPP made to us in the 2020 manifesto by way of housing. President Akufo-Addo has promised once again that he's going to ensure that Ghanaians get decent accommodation to live in. And so it looks like the president didn't make mention of all that happened last night. Is that just fine?
Well, probably for personal or political reasons, and also probably due to diplomatic reasons. We've had a slew of other presidents visited and graced the occasion. I'm sure that these issues, somewhat ugly, are not what the president would want to focus on. I'm sure he's left it to the leadership of the House to iron out or thrash out the issues that concerns Parliament. The weightier matters of infrastructure, social policy, and of course the export of some non-traditional products have dominated his speech.
Sure.
And also, of course, a ceremony that has been quite jejune, which we have not seen the NDC side of the House setting, which of course is a symbolic testament to the protest, the anger, the non-recognition of the president, which they have already put before the courts. And of course, the president himself, his demeanor, he didn't look like someone who is certainly very happy. Obviously, probably shocked or surprised by the events in the past couple of hours. So for me, this ceremony, of course, has been marked by so many events, quite eventful, but at least at the end of the day, we have leadership of a country, we have a president, we have a vice president, parliament will be constituted, and we are hoping that the business of governance will continue from where.
All right, so Esther, I'll get back to you, but my colleague Abdul Haimumen is on the ground speaking to some personalities in Parliament. Abdul, if you can hear us, take it away.
And he did indicate that the rules were that people would vote secretly.
That's the normal way.
Yet,
I know that for a fact.
Members of your party in Parliament last night attempted to show.
Look, at the end of the day, what happened was the right thing, that they should vote in secret. It's as simple as that. You know, I'm not here to say anything on behalf of anybody. All I'm saying is that the proper thing was done, and that is good.
Well, Honorable,
but it's unfortunate, all the noise and it's just too much. Let our institutions work. When they work, it's good for our country, it's good for democracy.
Honorable, thank you very much for your time. We are grateful, and we wish you the best in your future and the best. Nanaya Jantua, the presidential candidate of the CPP in the 2020 elections is also here, Mr. Ivor Greenstreet. Thank you, sir. First of all, let me find out from you, as you sat back last night, especially observing proceedings in Parliament and seeing for the very first time scenes unseen before in the Fourth Republic, how did that make you feel, sir?
Fortunately, I was fast asleep, so I only got to know of the events this morning, so my sleep was not disturbed. But I think in the end it has all turned out well, so we always keep hope alive and wish for the best for Ghana.
And I recall that ahead of the 2020 elections, I spoke with you. One of the scenarios that came up was the fact that even if the CPP, the party you represented, did win the elections, you were not going to have a majority in Parliament. The Speaker of Parliament would probably not come from your party, and so on and so forth. It turned out that we're having a certain scenario play out in Parliament, similar to the one that you talked about, and that it would force us to have inclusiveness in our governance. You think this is a good picture?
Well, I think we have to observe for some time. There are a lot of newly elected members of Parliament who are now going to have to learn how parliamentary procedure and the House operates. So the early signs are good, but let's continue to observe, and we'll draw our decisions, let's say, over the first 3 months of 2021. Then we'll give some assessment.
Very finally, is this the end for the CPP? You couldn't make up to 1% of the vote again.
Those are not questions I'll address today. However, the General Secretary is here.
It can't be the end of the CPP. I mean, the CPP still exists, and the CPP is moving on. The CPP is now trying to rebuild and pick up from the pieces that we left behind. And I believe that the CPP will be very great and formidable going forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you very much, Mr. Ivo Greenstreet. Thank you very much, and Anaya Jantua, General Secretary of the CPP. Madam Adjasafu, Honorable, has joined us here. Honorable is the MP for Dom Kwabenya, currently the Minister in charge of PPA. Honorable, first of all, your party failed to come up with a speaker this time around. There are members of your party who feel that some of you, and when I say some of you, I'm referring to anybody within the MPP in Parliament, may have betrayed you. Is that how you feel as well?
I think so. We are all surprised by the outcome of the elections. And as a parliamentary group, I think that we are reorganizing ourselves to see how we will be able to carry out government business when the need arises.
As things stand now, and you have had a long experience in Parliament, so we want some education, it remains unclear who owns the majority in Parliament. Are you able to tell us?
Oh, definitely. We in the NPP believe that we are the majority in Parliament. We have the Fomena Member of Parliament who went independent, and he has willingly come in onto our side, and he is now the second deputy speaker of the House. So no matter how slim the margins are, there's still in our constitution a simple majority, and so for us we have a simple majority.
In very dicey situations. So for example, his nomination came from the NDC to start with. Then number two, if he sits in as speaker on any occasion and is voting on critical issues, even if he wanted to vote for the side that the MPP would want to vote for, he would not be able to vote. That will make you lose one number.
I strongly think that whether it was proposed by the NPP or the NDC, you saw where the Member of Parliament sat on the day of the proceedings, and he sat on the side of the NPP. And so for me, that is clear indication where his loyalty and allegiance is. And moving forward, I know that there are a number of seats that are also being contested, and we raised the issue of having the Asin North member not being part of the voting because there's a court injunction and all that. So we believe that at the end of the day, by the close of all these court cases, there would be an outcome that will give us more majority than we have now.
Yeah. But again, Honorable, I know you are very busy, but just before you take leave of us, a lot of Ghanaians have expressed disappointment in the scenes that were generated from the floor of Parliament. The sight of military personnel, parliamentary members of Parliament hurling insults at each other and sometimes physically attacking each other. Those were scenes that we necessarily will not be proud about. Are you proud to have seen those scenes?
Exactly. I think you're right on that, and our rules are so clear on it that we ought to act honorable and in a parliamentary manner. It's rather unfortunate that what happened, but I think that moving forward there's a brighter future ahead, and we hope that it would not be as we saw it last night throughout the night till this morning. I mean, tensions were high. People's expectations on the outcome of the election were very high. But I think that in all, nobody really got hurt or anything. But for the sight of it on the national television, and we have visitors in here, international
media.
Moving forward, the majority leader has always made it a point of saying that we ought to have decorum in the House, and that is what I believe that in the Parliament moving forward we will all work together to have it as expected of us.
Well, thank you very much for your time. We are grateful, and we hope to be speaking to you more frequently. And so we have been bringing you. We hope to speak to Mr. Kwabena Agyapong briefly if we get the opportunity. He is currently speaking to a sister station. As soon as he is done, we will speak to him. But we have Mr. Kwabena Agyapong is an astute politician, a former General Secretary of the NPP. Glad to see you again, sir.
I'm glad to speak to Ghana Television. I used to be a presenter.
I know,
and many years ago.
I must say that this is like a dream come true. I used to see you hold the mic.
That's right.
People. Today I'm holding the mic in your presence because I used to watch you as well.
Yeah.
But tell me, sir, you have been General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. Indeed, at the point you were the Director of Communications at the presidency, and so at the highest level in Parliament last night, we saw scenes of ballot snatching, people kicking the booth and kicking and throwing away the ballot boxes and so on and so forth. As a politician of your caliber, observing the extent to which our democracy, and forgive me for my words, our democracy was being embarrassed on the international scene, how did that make you feel, sir?
It was a very painful experience to view it, because I know we can do much better. And I was expecting that the two sides, I mean the leadership of the two sides, haven't recognized the fact that there was parity in Parliament. I mean, to be able to accommodate each other, and I would have thought that they would have had some behind-the-scenes discussions before they went into the main chamber. And politics is about diplomacy, it's about dialogue, and I quite remember saying this in 2015 when, as General Secretary, I attended the NDC Congress in Kumasi, and I stated that these two political parties for the foreseeable future are the ones going to be in control of the destiny of our country. So the way we treat ourselves, the way we respect ourselves, the decorous nature of the discussion should be important to send a signal to the people of Ghana. So yesterday I was really sad. There were kids watching it. It was a bit embarrassing, but I know that this morning you can see that things have improved. Bagman himself, this is the first time we're going to have a speaker from the NDC when the president is from the MPP. You know, it's an innovation, it's a new thing, it's new territory, as the president himself indicated. And I'm sure with his years of experience in Parliament and the president's 40 years of experience in the politics of this country, that he's best positioned to work with this Parliament to generate the progress that we so desire for our country.
And just before you go, permit me to get personal, if you don't mind. After the event of 2015, before the 2016 elections, there are those Ghanaians who thought that you had retired from politics. Did you retire at any point, and are you back?
First and foremost, I'm too young to retire from politics, and I think I have a lot to give back to the country. And the name of our party is New Patriotic Party. And I'm a patriot of this party. Whatever happens, I swear and live by this party. I'm dedicated to this party. And a lot of people know that even during my suspension, I supported several constituencies around the country, materially, with advice, and so many. And in this campaign, as you are, it's a public record what I did to support our president and the party. So I'm a true MPP person. I was there at the formation with the elders at Dubois and all the rest. I was there as a young man, played a frontal role in his campaign in 1992. And my record in this party is one that everybody is aware of. So I'm a dedicated servant of this party, and I believe in the service, the sacrifice, and the selflessness of we the politicians to lead by example.
In such conversations, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. So that was Mr. Kwabena Agyapong, former General Secretary, speaking to us. And so we have been bringing you pictures and sounds and videos and actions, all the behind-the-scenes actions from the ceremonial swearing in of the President and the Vice President, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and his vice, Dr. Alhaji Bawumia, and we saw and brought you indeed live pictures from all the happenings in the House of Parliament from last night till this dawn, when eventually a decision was arrived at and Mr. Alban Bagbin was elected as Speaker.
There, so we pretty shortly will be wrapping up, so that the two of you can take leave of us. But we're speaking to our regional correspondents across country to get the feel of how the regions are like. But before we went to Abdul, we were getting your initial comments on your thoughts on the whole ceremony and the event briefly, because we'll be going to one of our correspondents.
I think it was very brief, straight to the point, and very concise. And from the speech of the president, it's like he's ready. He's ready to continue serving the people of Ghana.
Right.
And so I would want to see more beyond the few things he mentioned that he was going to focus on, more things being implemented, because we are going to make sure that the manifesto is well implemented, because that's the only way we can assess our government and what they are doing. And I would want to see this year, unfortunately, he never mentioned affirmative action, and I was like, okay, the last time he did mention throughout the 4-year term, but he never saw the day of light.
Yeah.
So I hope that this time around, the 8th Parliament, together with the Cabinet, would make sure that the affirmative action bill is passed. Few social protection policies and laws that they mentioned in their manifesto would be addressed. So I think it's okay for now.
Right. So Thomas Nsoje is our correspondent in the Ashanti region. He will be reporting from the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, which is the stronghold of the MPP. Let's see how that region is doing as we speak. Thomas, what can you tell us at this moment? Hello, Thomas. Thomas Nsoje is our correspondent in the Ashanti region. We're here, we've lost him. We'll try and reconnect, and he will bring us updates on what's happening in the Ashanti region. Thelma.
Yeah, I also find it quite interesting, the scenes that we've just seen. Honorable Sarah Adjo-Asafo admitting that the scenes that we witnessed throughout the night were not the ideal. She also exited her party's position that they believe they are the majority, something we know to be, a bit of a hang, because with 137 votes, members on each house, and especially now that the former MP is second deputy speaker,
sure. I mean,
and
his
voting unclear to me at this particular moment.
Right.
It remains to be seen how things
so Thomas has joined us once again. Thomas, good afternoon to you. What can you tell us at this moment from Kumasi?
To you all, we have just come to the central business city in Kumasi, where people were waiting patiently for the swearing in of President Nana Akufo-Addo as the president. So we have a gentleman who was listening patiently to us. So then now president
swearing in of the president in the America say it's a good thing. Yes, say you swear Nana in. Say before about to on and I say doing and answer after about to no we say court we see we are many at the Adinino. I was seeing your president until a year pass and you swear president in until after that and then the BB or Honma yet me I can't found.
Yes, Nanaka Sembebre Senebena opposition for no Yakomu Abum Babin so say when ya Speaker of Parliament and also Tiano as you were saying.
Oh, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. Pa say opposition no enya opposition enya Speaker of Parliament. Sana ebema yen citizens na wo we timemufo no ye be hu de ekowo omayimu say na opposition na kanokre anase sitting president na kanokre. It is so far as akudi han we Parliament we Speaker of Parliament akodi opposition sana government in power and so yes and on work together said the beya on work amayen timemu for the end the mayen pa.
Yes, he has expressed satisfaction with the way things have gone with the speaker going to the NDC and then the two speakers, one for MPP and then one for the independent. So we have another gentleman who is also coming to talk to us. I hope you are following what is happening in the country after the elections. Now, what is your observation? I hope you also listen to President.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Glory to the Most High God about what is going on this hour or this minute. God help us to vote, and at the same time we pray together so that God will give us a president. Glory to the Most High God, God give us peace, and at the same time God has given us a president. And today, 7th of January, all the Ghanaians people are waiting for the swearing of the president. But everything goes as it is. So we give everything as it is. We give glory to the Most High God about what he has been done.
Yes. What do you tell parliamentarians? What happened yesterday in the night? I hope you observed it.
It's true. Yeah, one thing that I wanted to tell the parliamentarians is that they need to know that all the Ghanaians have been contributing and give them a work to do. So we are expecting some expectation from them, so they need to do what they need to do so that we can continue to vote for them to be the leaders of the country.
Yes, thank you very much. The parliamentarians have been tasked to work for us because we voted for them and they are expected to work in the interest of Ghanaians. We have another gentleman who is also ready to talk to us. Chief, President has been sworn in. You were following the hula baloo that surrounded these elections. Now, look at this, everything is now over. We are just waiting for the court decision for some months to come. What do you have to say?
Actually, in the first place, we thank God for taking us through the elections, the swearing in, and the hula balloons that's under it. We have come to a point whereby what happened, I followed since yesterday. I didn't sleep. I sat at the back of the screen from 8 p.m. till morning. But what happened inside there, in fact, it is part of the democratic process and dispensation. Why we have reached now, swearing in the president and having a Speaker of Parliament coming from the minority side or not from the ruling party, it should tell Ghanaians that we should unite. And for that matter, we have reached a point whereby democracy has become so vibrant and people are getting to understand the point whereby all hands should come on board and then we move the country forward. Swearing the president in, supporters outside there, irrespective of their political affiliation, we should come to understand that we are Ghanaians, and for that matter, we should also come in to support our MPs, the president, the policies and the ideas that they will bring. Then we will also forge ahead as a country.
Yes, we all need unity and stability to move the country forward. Another gentleman is also standing by.
Thank you very much. Thomas Nsoeji is our Ashanti regional correspondent, speaking to persons on the street after President Akufo-Addo was inaugurated. We're still in the studio with Elom and Esther and Thelma Taki, my colleague. Elom, if what the second deputy speaker told us is anything to go by, that he is not going to vote, then it also means that Joe Osei-Owusu is also not going to vote. What would that mean to the MPP? I mean, it looks like they've lost 2 of their people when it comes to voting on issues.
Well, what that would mean is a very cumbersome 4 years, especially when you have a very ready NDC side, which is ready to, of course, with so much frenetic gusto to push out any bill that would make or put their chances in becoming the next majority in limbo.
You hold on your thoughts. Sorry about that. We will speak to our Upper East Regional correspondent, Samuel Ayama. He's reporting from Bolga. Samuel, what's the mood like in the Upper East region?
Thank you very much, Maurice. Boga here. The mood is a little bit okay. We don't have any serious jubilation on the streets of Bolgatanga, capital of the Upper East region. Where we are now is called Commercial Street of Bolgatanga. And then we are ready to also speak to some of the residents here and then find out how they feel about the whole situation. So tell me, we've just sworn in a president and then that of 2 deputies. Then the Speaker of Parliament going to Urban Backbend. What is your take on that?
Oh, it was a wonderful thing, and Ghana has won because the opposition and then the ruling government, we Ghanaians have made them to understand that they should do whatever they are doing in our interest, and that is exactly what happened. But the only incident that marked the whole occasion was the incident of the Tema East MP. It was a nasty situation. But the intervention of the soldiers, or the invitation of the soldiers and the police, is a warning to the politicians to understand that if they continue to misbehave, they will intervene, which we don't want. So I expect that they should conduct themselves properly.
Okay, thank you very much for speaking to us. I also have one, but also tell us his take on the issue.
I'm Alaji Mohammed Manluri. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's a win for Ghana. But where I'm disappointed is that what happened in Parliament, like the people that we think they will set examples for us to follow. But if we are hearing the snatching of ballot boxes outside, and if it happens in Parliament, there is a disgrace for Ghana. But what is the advantage side of Ghana is that the split Parliament or the hung Parliament will help the poor people on the street. All their policies and everything, we can scrutinize and have a look at it. It's better that we send people to go and fight for us instead of fighting for themselves. So it's a win for Ghana, and we like it very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me also hear from you, Aja. What is your take on what has just happened?
Thank God everything has gone successfully. Mungo de Mahalla, Ghana, Yazama Guda, da muna duba Ghana Yazama Biu, NDC MPP, yo, Komiduka Yazo Claire, Ghana. It says Ghana ni Yazama Farko da when they saura duka. Donda abinda muke duba zai happy and be happy. Happiness Yazo chicken garin Ghana. MPP, NDC, yo muduka muna Parliament, aichi muze zo guda. But when the Zefta by and then when she thank God, everything has gone successfully. No NDC, no MPP.
Also tell us, I just want you to tell us your take on what has just happened. We've sworn in the president.
Right, and so Samuel Ayama reports from the Upper East region, Bolgatanga specifically. Before he joined us, we're talking about the fact that now that the 2 deputy speakers will not be voting, or what does that mean to parliamentary business, especially for the MPP?
Well, it is looking like this parliament is split in the middle, and either side cannot even confirm to us who was the majority or the minority. But what I can say is that you have an experienced legislator who sits in the chair as the speaker, and of course you have the NDC side who from all intents and purposes are also ready to position themselves very well and of course warm themselves into the heart of Ghanaians ahead of the next elections in 2024. So they are going to take parliamentary business really seriously, and some of the bills that are rubber stamped, at least with the benefit of numbers, I hope that we do not see that. We are also looking at civil society pressure and from academia. One of the things I'm looking at is a relook at the tabled public universities bill, which was quite controversial, and as an academic, that's of course an onslaught on academic freedom. And one of the things I want to see really debated and kicked out of Parliament is that bill that was brought in before Parliament went on recess.
Right, your final words before you go.
Okay, I think that was a very smart move of the NDC not to resist the second speaker, the second deputy speaker, from not going to an NDC person. If clearly they're going to lose 2 of their voting, it means that the MPP needs a lot of lobbying. They need a lot of consultation with the NDC before some of the major policies or major bills they want to pass in the House will go through. So for me, I think this is a very good start for our democracy. For the first time, we're going to see how real parliamentary work is done, not on party lines. And I'm really happy because parliaments have to rise above the conversation that they are just rubber stamp to really prove to Ghanaians that they are there in the interest of Ghana. So for me, I think it's very good. And in wrapping up, I would want to see this government, the president is going to do appointments. I would want to see the president giving a lot of appointments to women and young people. We need to have an inclusive governance. We need to have an inclusive executive. And then we need to make sure that, I think, parliaments, like I said, need to pass the affirmative action bill. This year is not a year, the 8th Parliament shouldn't give us promises, a year where women issues are relegated to the background. We want to see clearly their interest in making sure that the rights of Ghanaian women are upheld. I mentioned earlier about the 20% being taken off the tax. The 20% tax taken off the sanitary pad. This is a very critical issue, and that's very worrisome for a lot of women in Ghana. Unfortunately, you can't say you not menstruate. It's God who has made us that way.
Esther, I think that we would have more time to do that.
But I think finally we have to. They have to look at youth employment.
Because we don't have much time, we'll wrap up at this point. Thelma.
I was going to ask her to make final submissions, but obviously I think she has done that. She has done that. She has done that and done even more. So we have to consider as key. It's been quite interactive having you here with us to help us dissect the issues and understand some of the scenes we've witnessed from Parliament with the President's investiture into his second term. And thank you also, Elam, for joining us. And to look out for the Public Universities Bill, like you said, would be something quite interesting to look forward to, even from the fact that we will be expecting very shortly the President to make nominations into ministerial positions for this second term of his presidency, and it will be interesting to see what the conversations that come up from these ones. So thank you. Esther Terria is Executive Director, Gender Center for Empowering Development, and Ella Mauli Kwawu is the affiliate of the Institute of African Studies of the University of Ghana. Thank you for helping us with this discussion. Morris and I will return to go into some more insights, and we will return after the break and we'll tell you what more.
Thelma, actually, George Support will take over from
George will be taking over. That's fantastic.
Interesting discussions after this break.
Keep watching GBC News and GTV. We still continue this coverage. So now it is the post-inauguration coverage, and we'll be back right after this break with more. Please stay with us.